Hey guys, Ebontis here. Gonna do my final Challenge of Elders solo guide with my Warlock. Saved him till last because I think he's going to be probably the easiest and most fun. Modifiers, we've got our super kill bonus, so bring your Stormcallers, they are the most efficient here. Also, we've got small arms, so bring Bad Juju so you can build up your super, and Berserk, they're not going to flinch. So you've got the Vandals with swords that are just going to keep swinging at you. You've got the Phalanx who are never going to drop their shield. So a lot of fun here. My build is Stormcaller, as I said. Superconductor, doubles your chaining capability so the chains can go farther. Rising Storm, if you do need to melee somebody, you'll at least charge your super a little bit. Make sure you're always running full toughness, get that full armor that you can. And Transcendence, when cast with full grenade and melee energy, so you don't want to use those very frequently. Storm Trance restores your health to full and drains slower. Pretty much the idea is you almost have double the length of your super here if you have the other two full, so pretty much always keep your grenade and melee full unless you just cast your super, then go melee one guy so you get that little boost to your super while you're building it back up. Last thing is I'm using Electrostatic Mine. Charges faster when allies are near. Now there are no allies, but it also says when a Storm Trance is active, nearby enemies take damage. So your other options here are your grenades chain farther, which you're not really going to be using your grenades, and grenades charge melee, melees charge your grenade. You're not really going to be using both of those. Now, I don't think this one does a lot when you're by yourself, but either way, just may as well have that on for the extra damage, because in the last area, you're going to have some people that are close, so if they're nearby, they may as well just take some damage. Also, as I said, running Bad Juju, I've got a sniper and a machine gun. Pretty much trying to have different options here just for the fact that when you get to the flayers in the Cabal room, they're going to have a different type of shield each, so just having different types of damage each will help take down their shield if you need to. You can do a lot with Bad Juju, but if you're having issues, you can also use your other ones. I'm running the Impossible Machines, so I've got Landfall, just the major boost for Stormcaller, and it's nice because I've got reload speed on Sniper. Another thing here, just make sure you're tier 5. I actually have this one eked out exactly, so doing decent on stats on this one, 300, 305. Not tier 12, but working on it. That's a wrap. So round 1 is going to be the Pilot Servitor. Main thing it does is have bouncy grenades, which hurts more than you would expect, so keep your distance. If he gets close, just get out of there. And he's also going to have just a melee pulsing ability, so just stay away. Main thing, the Berserker is going to affect those Vandals with swords, so they're going to be very aggressive. What I do like to do is start out with my sniper rifle, get a few shots in here early on, just so I can get some initial damage in there, so I can get that next damage wave, enemy wave, much closer to actually spawning. And then what you want to do is see where he's going to teleport off to. If he teleports away, jump up here in the middle, do a little bit of landfall, have a little fun, do a little dance tonight, and then just start casting like crazy. A lot of these guys potentially are going to be grouped up here in the middle, so it's a nice combination and placement for them. Shanks go down with relative ease, and then if you've got full super, you should be pretty close. So that's pretty close to a full run. Gonna see if I can put some more damage into him. Nice thing about being up here, well, he's back. Alright. Nice thing about being up here on this catwalk is you can instantly turn to the left and go find the enemies that you need. There's going to be 6 of them coming out that door just to start building up your super. Get a few extra shots in there to keep building that next damage wave closer. And just start lining these guys up as they come out. It should go down pretty quick. Should be pretty accurate. Apparently they're a little hesitant to walk out the door. Probably because they know they're going to get smashed. Oh, get out of there. I think the boss just teleported on top of my head. It's about the only time I would tell you guys to use the melee is because you get that boost to your super from it. So it's kind of a nice little bonus, and it never hurts actually to have that going for you. And these guys are just very aggressive. Now I've got my super back up, so now you've kind of got the decision of do I want to use it again, depending on how many guys are still around in the map, which can be hard to know for sure if it's worth it or not. There's no guarantee of a real good way to tell. Sometimes you'll be able to know if, you know, the Shanks are just sitting out there doing their thing, chilling out, but sometimes these guys will just sit there and chain together, and you'll get a few extra. So I'll take the bonus points on that one, and then I'll use this last couple of guys just to get some more points. Boss is over there in the corner. So grab your sniper, see if you got any extra ammo. Bad Juju is going to do plenty of damage too. If he teleports down here, wait for him to land. And then watch that little outcropping from the actual, that little, I don't even know what you call it. Pretty much just watch the geometry and waste shots if you aren't careful. So be careful in this middle section. You can sometimes do too much damage too quickly, and then you'll miss out on a wave of enemies, which you really don't want to do because every wave is vitally important to make sure you get full points. Finally got some special ammo, which is good. Should have a Vandal down here. And then I'm just trying to build up my super, so see how close we can get. A couple of shanks will probably do it. And then all I want to do at this point is try and pull as many enemies down here as possible. Post them with landfall, and then keep having my fun. Shanks are good. Good cannon fodder. Watch those bouncy grenades though. They can be rather treacherous. Got some more guys up here. And that's probably going to be a wrap. So I don't see much more on my radar. Not too many guys out there. Keep pumping your damage into them. And his Bad Juju is pretty effective too. You can get some damage that way. Next wave is on the way. And we'll go check the doorway over here as usual. You got a few of the regular Vandals that'll run away. The melees will definitely come charging at you, so you don't have to worry about trying to hunt those down. The other Vandals should be right down here. Again, those precision shots, making sure the points that you can get out of those are what you're getting. Now here's the fun part of shanks are good, but unfortunately you don't get precision kills out of those, so it's better to save those for super killing if you can. The other debate, of course, is do I really want to keep killing the enemies, or do I want to actually try and save some of this for the next round? So this one I'm going to give the attempt of just shooting these guys down for precision kills. And because I don't think I've got too many enemies left, I've probably got some shanks, but nothing too major. Apparently a couple of these guys up top. But I don't think I had enough enemies there to really make my super worthwhile of using. So at this point, just keep pumping the damage in. Sorry, I had to itch my nose. And then once you get him close, just keep going, because as soon as they start coming out, he's still going to be the last wave, so you can just get him really close to where he needs to go down, and then you can start pulling the guys in. Be careful. Depending on where those bouncy grenades are at, you're going to have a lot of enemies. And what you really want to do is just try and pull them all to one middle section if you can. So if you come back up here to the front, depending on where the boss warps to, you might be able to actually pull a lot of them up here. So landfall, of course, and then I'm going to flatten those three, and then come down below here. See how many of these Vandals I can take out. They just keep coming to me, I can't help it. After this, then you're pretty much just going to go precision kills as much as you can on your own. Until they jump away, of course. Already over, just about over 6,000. My Hunter had the advantage just because you get that melee kill bonus, so you're just going to have that working in your favor. Watch for the guys on your butt. Of course, they're going to be there. I don't have too much left, really. Looks like I've got a straggler up here in the front, a melee guy. Just to make sure I get a precision kill, I'm going to pull out the sniper. And that's a wrap. 6,500. About as clean as you can get. Grab all the ammo and move on. So it's a pretty straightforward room. Stormcaller makes life really simple, honestly, on super kill bonus. If you can pair that with a couple hunters tethering, making orbs constantly, I think you could probably have just constant super. So that, or maybe one hunter tether and two stormcallers. Either way, it's really, really effective. So round 2 is going to be Hive. This is one that you're going to not have to worry too much about either, of course. Make sure your super is charged, which mine actually is for the time being. You're going to have 2 wizards and then a whole bunch of taken acolytes, because this is Sylok the Defiled. His main thing is the napalm that he'll spray, but he's really not that much of an issue. You can take out the 2 wizards. Most of the acolytes will actually work their way to you from the top. And then pretty much what you just want to do is make sure you can kind of get to a point where you can chain them all together, from this middle front section when you enter, and be good to go. So wait for them to spawn, they're going to come in, and then the wizards are going to come flying from probably either side just like that. Focus on the wizards first. There's usually one over there and usually one on the right. You may not be able to find them quite as quickly, just depends on where they decide to go. This one's floating up top. Alright, so now, well, there's a bounty done. And those 3 are done from landfall. And they're usually going to be floating around in trios, which is nice if you don't fail on a jump. But I know there's more enemies around here, which of course there is. And there's probably a few stragglers. I know there's somebody around here that I haven't taken care of yet. At least I feel like there was. They jumped off over here to the side. So, a couple more guys. Not many. And then at this point, you can bring out your sniper rifle, get ready for boss damage. Just 2 places you can do this, really. One, you can use this little lip here in these rocks and just kind of get yourself some cover and start shooting him pretty square on. If he does the napalm, it's likely to land right in front of you if you're just here on this lip. If he does manage to get it over and you're standing in it, make sure you don't keep standing in it. It's a good way to die, because it does actually hurt. So then if that's the case, apparently I do have one over there. You can pump a fair amount of damage into him that way. And then once that happens, again, first thing you want to do is try and find those wizards, because you want to try and build your super with them before the acolytes, because you want to save as many acolytes as you can for your actual super usage. Wizards, of course, sometimes a pain in their little fidgety movements. Just like that. But he's down. Sit tight. You might have to kill a couple, so I can kill these 3 over here on the right. See if I can build up my super with that. Should be up any second. I'm going to try and get these guys to jump down for me if they would be so kind. And just keep the joys going here. The boss is up here, but he's not going to be that much of a threat from where I'm standing, so it's going to be most of the kills I can probably get. Again, I'm pretty good on super damage. And then just, if he does do his napalm when you're standing on that platform, just switch over here, and then you can kind of keep the damage going. Nice thing about rotating platforms is you're likely not to have the napalm land on you. Also, if you do the if he's doing the napalm and you step behind that thing, typically it'll fall in front, so you don't have to worry quite as much about it being, you know, a direct factor. Now, if he does another one and it lands on you, yeah, it's time to move. Should have reinforcements coming. Now, as I'm pretty low, I'm going to use 1 melee, just to try and get that extra super build. And then at this point, as my super energy is ultra low, and so is my health right now, get your recovery going, and then just start killing these guys to build up your super. This is going to be the time where you really just build your super, and then you save the last round for a complete wipe. Not wipe, but a complete clearing by your super. Again, try not to shoot the... Normally I would tell you not to shoot those guys, but they go down like flies, thanks to Bad Juju, and really just want to take out the wizard, which... Where did he run off to? Oh, he's over here. Got these couple guys left. Nothing too major. And I think we're pretty good. Grab any ammo you can find in case you need it. If everything else is covered, you've got 3 different options, and then so just rotate for between what you have for damage. If he lands anything on you, just dodge it or try to. Make sure you're not taking damage where you're standing. And if you take some, then should have your super full. You want to try and find the wizard, which actually if you're over here can work because sometimes they'll come right to you. Take that one out. You can find the other wizard. This may work perfectly. Hide here for a second because the napalm is going to be coming your direction shortly. And then what you really want to do is, well, for one, if they're all over here, I guess we'll find out how this goes. Normally I wouldn't kill the enemies over here. Get off my back. But if they're all coming to you over here, I guess I will accept. Wiping out all of the enemies that way. Not how I would tell you to normally do that. But if they're all going to be up in the front, I guess I'll take it. Looks like I've got 1 straggler. Probably not worth the effort to even go back down there for him. But I'm not done. There's still another wave of enemies, so come back up here, get ready, do some boss damage. Now I'm probably going to be pretty close on boss damage. He's stuck in a little hole down there. I don't even know if that arc's going to make it to me. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? I don't even know if I can shoot him from here. Yep, he's getting angry. So from here, he's a little close, so just be careful how close you are to him. But from here, you can just sit here and pump damage into him. You'll have reinforcements coming. Thing about the reinforcements that are coming, they're not going to be able to do too much for a minute, so get him as close to that death percentage as you can. Get him close to about 1%. And then you won't have to worry about his damage for a minute while you rotate around and then do damage to other things. Try and find those wizards first, but at this point, anything you can probably kill is going to work. Potentially, the way this one's going to go down, I might be doing super kills just to kill the boss. Just because that may be the only way to finish this one off. If that wizard hides any better, he's going to be the hide-and-go-seek master. That one. Should have one more wizard over here. He didn't hide like the awesome thing that he is. Now, if I build up my super, which I did, kind of have the test of, do you want to try and kill the boss with your super for extra orbs, or do you just want to go for the rest of the enemies? I'm going to go for the enemies. I'm probably going to get more points out of this, depending on where Wizard Man is. Cook him alive, see if there's anybody else, which it looks like there is, and then potentially the boss as well. Make sure you don't get killed getting all aggressive. Then come back over here and get a sniper shot in the back of his head. And that'll do it. 20,000, not too bad. Falls somewhere between my Titan and my Hunter for damage at that point. Oh, class armor. Dang it, wrong one.
Retreat to airlock.
My postmaster inventory is ridiculously full, so I just have to manage my engrams. Grab any ammo on the ground. At this point, I think I'm in pretty good shape, and the fun room remains. But for the Warlock, it's not so bad, so I will probably have to build up my super, though. Alright, so round 3 is going to be Val Aru'un, sorry. He's going to be regular Cabal, but he's the one with the flares as defense. He uses their shields, and you have to kill the right flare. Say it's a void shield on him, you have to kill the void flare to make him vulnerable. So it's kind of the combination of balancing that and time and the phalanx with Berserk. There's a lot going on. So we'll jump into it here, but I'm going to build up my super, and then I will phase right back into when I have my super. Alright, so I like to have my sniper out to work on getting damage on him as soon as possible. Because what you want to do is get some damage into him while he's vulnerable. And then the next time you need to do damage, you can actually be completely ready to call the next wave of enemies, which you're going to want to do. So, once he comes to the middle, you're going to be in a bit of a tough spot to try and do damage to a lot of these enemies. But depending on where you can actually cast Landfall, that one might work pretty well, actually. You can have quite a bit of fun. Wow, I'm way too high. I'm vaporizing that flare. So, got a fair amount there. The flare is still up, which is fine actually, because I need to kill these guys in better timing. So, work on the normal enemies first, take those out quickly. Watch those flares. And see what else remains. Now, there's going to be some phalanx. They're probably going to wander over to the left. Typically, this is the side that they will run up on. Boss is over here too, literally taking the shots for the phalanx. Talk about a great boss. Man, that is just such a nice guy. So yeah, you pretty much got to focus gun side on the phalanx to be able to do damage to them. Their shield is going to pretty much block everything else, which makes life quite a bit of a pain. You'll even run out of ammo just trying to take them out. I think he's down. Now, trying to find the arc flare and see what I can do for damage. He's the one in the back. So what you want to do is get the flare that needs to go down targeted, and if you can get him somewhat singled out, you can potentially get the shield down quick. Now, the key here is trying to balance. Now, the nice thing about doing early damage to him is he's vulnerable right now, so if I can do enough damage to call the next reinforcements, then I'm good to go. That's all I need, the reinforcements to come. You can do a little more to prep the next phase to make it easier, but don't do too much, or you run the risk of actually doing too much damage and then calling the next wave of enemies, which that's just bad news. So again, you're just going to run up here, try and get all the way across, watch the shield guys that are right behind me, and you want to try and pull as many enemies to you as you can. Now, Warlocks have the perk of quick recovery, and depending on where these guys are all going to float and where the boss is at in the middle, you can try and decide which way you want to go. So depending on where the boss has jumped to, he's down below the world under here. So I'm going to use landfall there to my favor, and then just try and mow these guys down up here if I can. And the ones that I really want to take out are the phalanx. If I can chain all those together and take them out, it saves me a whole lot of anguish of having to actually try and shoot them. Once the super is down, I would get out of there, go back up to some high ground, and then just work on the regular scions to work on building back up your super, and then we'll get to the next player and next wave here shortly. But just the fact that you can actually burn through the scion or the phalanx shields with your super is huge, because the other two don't really get to do that. The other two classes, I should say. Keep those precision kills going, those are still important. Gotta watch for the flares and see who's around. But we can tell he's got the solar shield on, so that's the flare that we need to take out once we figure out where he is. And keep running around, grabbing ammo, and the flares look like they're up in the middle somewhere. So this one's down here. He is just chilling out. I'm going to try and pump some damage into him while I can. He could be running around this side here. If he does, don't let him get too close. Their melees do sting quite a bit. That one, the big wave attack, hurts. And see if there's any stragglers, but I don't think there really are. So what you want to do is just keep focusing that flare down if you can tag him or find him. Even if he's just barely hiding, if you can get a shot into him just to keep his shield from regenerating, that'll help you quite a bit too. Because he keeps going back and forth there. Dodge that melee attack. Come on. See, they're big weenies after a little while. They're all fun and good when they're in your face and you know, giving you a bunch of damage, but then of course when you're actually doing damage to them, they're less keen on it. Alright, he's down. Now this is time to do damage to him. I've got my first time deduction, so time will be a factor here. But I've done some damage before, so the reinforcements should be coming, which they are. Keep doing some damage, but don't do too much here. I called an extra wave last time and I didn't want to do that. So what you want to do again, you can hang here, sit tight, nobody's going to hit you, you can duck down. And let some of the enemies come out of their holes, and he channeled Void. So now you should be able to find decent groups of these enemies together, just like these guys here, and just start chaining this stuff together. If you can target the phalanx, those are going to be a nice combination to go after. Come on, I know I got more than this sitting around here. Yep, good grouping there. And then once you've got those guys down, watch it, and keep going on your precision kills. Now that flare's over there on the left-hand side. He's the last one, so if you get a chance to shoot on him, you can start working on that before all the enemies are done. But just save him till all the enemies are down, because you want to make sure that timing is right. You don't want to miss out on points just because you go too fast on a flare. Because when the flare goes down, that's when the boss is vulnerable, and that's just kind of your point in time where you need to start working on the next wave. Now, if you do take the last one out, you do have the benefit of the boss just being vulnerable. So I'm actually just going to try and keep working him down, because these phalanx are being really slow and just pokey guys. So if he goes down, then the boss is going to be vulnerable, which is fine. Makes him a little skittish. Not really, though. He's just going to keep going crazy. Alright, so at this point, I'm pretty much good to go. Got reinforcements incoming. See, it took like 2 rounds. So that third wave does not take that much to actually summon in. So just remember that. The last one, you can get a fair amount of damage in him before he actually pulls that last wave. When you use this early section here, take out these scions here, the ones that just kind of walk out to you. Use them to build up your super. Once you've got those up, run across the way. If you can float all the way across, that'll work. And what you want to do, just if you've got landfall or not, it's a nice time to try and take advantage of that perk. See where the boss is at if he's floating over the top. I'm going to go try and landfall this little group here. Below me, I got a couple. And doing some damage. Got some flares here. Got some chaining going. Good times. Taking some damage, just be careful. Ow. Hurts a little bit, but yeah. Warlock is definitely easy mode on those phalanx because you can just go right through their shields. All the chaining just seems to work around them really, really well. You don't have to worry about too much. Hard to get a precision kill on the phalanx, but if you can manage it, happens every blue moon. I think we're getting pretty close to that last wave. When that actually happens, you can keep doing damage and just get him, again, just like every other boss, down close towards his death. You might be a little more cautious, but you can start picking these guys off as they come out of their doors. Same as the ones over on the right. You want to try and build up your super, use it if you can. You still want to be able to take the guys out with, you know, speed, which is important. So I've got my super up. I'm going to try land falling out here. Try to chain some of these guys where possible. I'm getting attacked from pretty much all angles. Boss is jumping up here, so I definitely don't want to be here. I'm going to go try and chain these guys. And that's probably going to be most of what I get to do. Probably not going to get another super, so I'll use my grenade to try and work him down a little bit. And at this point, it's just kind of finish off what remains. Shouldn't be too much if you got a decent super run going. And again, rotating sides, they're going to be looking at you over here, and then the phalanx should have a little more of an open run at that left-hand side. Finally here, got another grenade. And I'm just going to try and get some precision shots on him. Getting pretty close here. Probably just going to try and finish him off with the Juju. There you go. Precision kill. Bonus. Done. And that's a wrap, guys. 42 out of the Warlock. I knew it was going to be easy mode. You can get the most kills because that Storm Trance lasts forever. So, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, it helps to have the early damage on the boss. And then as soon as you have the first wave of enemies down, take out the flare and then get damage on him so you pull out that next wave. So each wave is progressing towards completion, basically. Each time you do damage to him, you get a new wave of enemies, you've taken down a flare, lots of things are happening, all good stuff. So, that's 3 for the week for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do the thriller while I wait for this thing to count down. And other than that, thanks for checking out the video. The support has been awesome recently, so thank you guys, it's amazing. Thank you guys for coming over from Pyro Gaming if you did, that was awesome. He's pretty cool for shouting me out. Check his channel out if you haven't. Just as you'd expected, it's Pyro, P-Y-R-O Gaming. Likes on these videos are appreciated. They help me out, help me grow. Check out the main channel. Subscribe there if you haven't. I've got plenty of content coming. I've got the other classes up. Solo guide to the Nightfall this week, and I'll just keep everything coming. I've got Arms Day tomorrow, and then Zur on Friday. I'm going to DestinyCon this weekend, so I'll be quiet over the weekend, but you can always look for the content coming from me. Plenty of content, mostly every day. So thanks again for the support, guys. Any questions, always leave comments, and I'm happy to answer them. Other than that, have fun and good luck, guys.